conversation that as black men that we're now having across the country is how do we protect and save the health of our minds?
The worst place a man can be left is left alone with his thoughts.
Yes, sir.
My mental fitness, my physical fitness, my spiritual fitness, these things I cherish.
Black men I've been around, they fighting to even try to make, they used to be 18. Now it's really like 16, 15.
She never weaponized my vulnerability.
That right.
And I think, I'm not even a tough street dude or anything like that, but I also never wanted to appear weak in front of my wife.
I find myself most happy just with my kids though.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
I said, yo, yo.
How we doing, King?
What's up, King? How you doing, man?
You smell that aroma? You smell that aroma?
Miss.
I never miss.
You never miss.
That's why I'm a king.
You know what? Someday you need to be a chef.
Oh, I'm still in training.
What's happening, man?
Nothing, brother. I'm just here. Glad to be here. And tonight, I made something a little different.
Okay, talk to me.
It's easy chicken. You can get some little mashed potatoes with some green peas in it.
Okay.
Takes me back to my childhood when I see green peas. I love it.
What kind of chicken?
Jerk chicken. We're gonna have some jerk chicken tonight.
Okay, well, I'm ready. All right, man. Well, you know what? I'm excited.
You excited?
Yes, sir.
So what's the topic tonight, King?
Man, tonight, it's going to be a little to the heart and to the soul of what's happening in society with us as men right now. And we're going to talk about mental health.
Mental health, wow.
Mental health. Yo, what's up, young king? This one right here is special to me.
Really?
He's special to me right there. What's up, boy? What's going on, man? This is NLE, man. Chef.
Good to meet you, brother.
Yeah, man.
How's everything?
Great.
We got great food coming for you.
Man, really.
Yeah, but until then, you know what I'm saying, we can kind of do like, you know, how like fancy rich people do. You know what I'm saying? You can just kind of dabble into, you know, some grapes, some cheese. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Doc? What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
Doctor, what's happening, man?
How you doing, man?
This is Chef.
How you doing, Chef?
Yeah, man.
Another king. Another king. Bro.
Yeah, man, that's my young guy right there, man.
Yes, sir.
Now, man, welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, brother.
Now, we got real food. I had to make you come all the way out here just for this. I promise we got some real food.
Oh, but I do these blackberries, though.
Hey, what up? Now, this one right here. Young mogul.
Let's come on, man.
Well, young mogul, come to the house.
How are you, brother?
What's up, King?
Yeah, you good?
What's up, King?
Still strong? I see you with the forearm. That's strong.
Chef.
I got you. What's up, Chef?
You say God got me? I ain't got me? No, man, that's NLE, man.
Tell King he got some angels around him.
Yeah.
man.
Who cares?
I need you to stop. Leave me alone. You make fun of me if I came in here with a little belly on me. What's up, Thespian? What's up? Some people are actors. And some people are thespians. What's up, man? What's up, man? What's up, gang? What's up, Dallas? What's up, hometown? This is Chef. Yo, man, Jonathan Major's incredible. That's NLE.
Yeah.
That's Doc right there, man. That's come. Yo, man, that's Kev. Yes, sir. All right. Yo, man, how you doing, man?
I'm feeling fabulous.
Thank you for coming
through, man.
No, man, we got real food. I promise you. I did not have y'all come out here just to do this.
I don't know if me and Doc can survive on this.
No. I promise you.
I told Kirk, I got
you for real now.
What are you?
I'm 270 now. This is cool.
No. I promise we got some good food. We got drinks. We got some conversation. It's gonna be
jerk on the menu or something.
Is that true?
I heard something like that.
This one I've been knowing since he was a young one. I've been knowing this one young. I'm so proud of you, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Come on, there, man. This is Jonathan.
What's up, bro?
Yes, sir.
Respect.
Chef.
Respect.
NLE.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Ray, what's
yeah,
up,
man.
good brother?
Yes, sir. Yo, man, this is special. I promise you, I got some food for you. I promise I got food for you.
Let's go. I'm
I
ready.
got food for you. You know what, man?
Food for thought.
They do the dishes. So, man, this is what I want you to do,
They do the dishes.
Kev, do me a favor. Lead us in prayer, bro.
All right.
And to pray for the food.
Okay, Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this day, God. We thank you for this gathering of men. We appreciate this setting, God. We thank you for the food and the hands that prepared it, God. Bless there to be plenty, more than enough, God. Something to take home. We appreciate you, and we love you. And bless the conversation, God, as well. In Jesus' name, amen.
And Lord, since he didn't bring no money, just let the food be enough here at the table so he won't be trying to steal more food. Amen.
I mean, he got all these churches over here, man.
Y'all come sit down. Y'all come sit down with me, man. Y'all come sit down. Man, I want you to know, man, that I am so honored just to have y'all here with me, man. It's like just the perspective and the life experiences that I want to learn from. You know, I want to learn from young men that have gone through so much already at a young age. Yes, sir. You know, because some of you, even though you're younger than me, I mean, you know, you've almost had to live 2 and 3 lives just to get where you are. Yes, and then for those of you that have had to live in front of the camera and still be strong, still be powerful, and still be victorious. And I think that the conversation that as black men that we're now having across the country is how do we control and protect and save the health of our minds, the health of our emotions. And you know, growing up in church, I've had to even erase some bad thinking, you know, because I had to learn that the teachings of Western Christianity and Jesus were not always synonymous. You know what I mean? Like they, you know, like Jesus was mad cool, but a lot of stuff that we were taught ain't got nothing to do with him. Right. And one thing that I've learned is that we don't always have the power to be able to say to people that say, you can pray that away. You can just pray that away. And it's like, I'm feeling like I'm needing a little more. Yes. Yeah. And I realized when I was about 18 years old, and everybody at the table's got some creative juice in them. And I remember being about 18 years old realizing something's wrong. My highs are too high and my lows are too lows. And I felt anxiety and I felt depression, but just you didn't want to say anything because you didn't want nobody to think that, well, you know, I ain't Christian enough, you know?
Can I say something about
that? Man, you can, man, listen, I want to open up the table to all of y'all to talk and tell me how y'all feel about this topic of black men and mental health.
It's one thing you said about prayer, and this is what I realized in the community, and this is something that I was doing. And when I tell people about prayer, the relationship with God is not a one-way street. So sometimes we come to God and we always praying for things, praying for signs, praying for blessings, praying for clarity. But prayer is also a space to where we sit down and supposed to listen. Yeah. So if you don't have enough discernment to decipher between what voice is of God and what voice is of the other side, or even your own curated thoughts, I feel like that's when people walk astray. But one thing that God has been strengthening in my life recently is the inner voice that he's put on the inside of me to trust. So like, you know, even the way everything I do, what I wear, what color I wear for the day, what's my words of the days, what's the things I'm looking for, all these different things come with me and my devotion to him. I created a word called neuranical. And neuranical means to me like steadfast devotion of listening to the inner voice that he places on the inside of all of us. Neuranical. Neuranical, so N-U-R.
I was just going to ask you how you spell that. I was just going to ask you.
Totally different.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's even start off on a light side. Y'all tell me at the table what makes you happy. What makes you have the most joy?
That question, man, is to a black man, Kirk. He has to pause. Notice everybody's body language.
Why is that?
Because we often are not the receptors of happiness and joy. We're often looking to provide it for someone else. And we don't really know what that is because a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to just be. So for me at 43, I've learned that my happiness is just me being able to just be where I'm not providing, where I'm not performing, I'm not talking, I'm not being someone giving a clinical analysis to their crisis. It's where I can just be where I'm just settled into me.
When did you find yourself, Ray J, most happy?
I find myself most happy when everybody got a room at the hotel.
break that down. Break that down. That's
Meaning like if everybody got a room at the hotel, I sleep in the car.
Okay, now break that down.
Happy. Meaning like certain people gotta fill certain positions, so I gotta make sure everybody good. When everybody good and everybody settled in,
got you.
And I'm in the car, I'm like, man, I'm happy.
Got you. Your happiness comes when you're able to take care of everybody else.
But my most happiness is with my kids though. Yes, that's it. Like,
how many kids you have?
2, 5 and 7. They at my house now and they don't never want to leave. Wow. I be telling my baby mama like, yo, if the kids crying because they want to stay with me, it ain't a bad thing. Let them cry and then let them take them home. But you know what I'm saying? Don't take away from like them just wanting to be with me too. You know what I'm saying? They sad they gotta leave.
Does anybody else have kids at the table?
Yeah, I got 2 kids. I think that's the happiness for me is very specific when we go to the movies as a family a lot. And when we are walking back from the theater to the car and we're like, what was your favorite part? Oh, I like this part. You know, like that's it's a great memory that we've replicated so many times. Yeah. And it's so specific, you know, even if the movie sucks, we're like, actually, there was nothing good about that movie. You know what I'm saying? But that little walk to the car where we're all together and we just experienced something together, that's a very happy moment for me.
What about you, Jonathan? What makes you happy?
Well, I'm very happy right now.
Why?
Well, I will say that a wise man once said, when you're happy, it's because you got something happening.
I love that. What is that wise man's name? What's the name?
Kirk Franklin. No, it's gnarly, right? So like, I've been in such a state of joy. I know we're talking about happy.
Yeah.
Right?
But there's a difference in that.
There is a difference, you know. But because the joy has been so deep, I find that happiness is easily achieved.
Yes, sir.
I'm kind of happy a lot of the day. Not just because of my medication. You know what I mean? I'm happy most of the day. Most of the time.
Hold on, wait a minute. You know, okay, so thank you, King. Do you know what they call psychiatrists shrinks?
No.
Because you know that's the nickname term for like really, like y'all don't know what they call shrinks. The reason why psychiatrists are called shrinks is because it is their job to shrink the problem.
Yes. Oh, wow.
So when you go in with, you know, life is crazy. You know how you go to the side, you know how you go to a therapy. Like I've been going to therapy since I was 28 years old, right? And you go in, life is, and their job is to shrink the problem. Wow. That's what they call shrink. But he just did something with humor that shrunk something, and he slid it in. And did y'all catch it? Yeah. He mentioned being on medicine. Yeah. But you did it in just such a loose way.
Slid it in like.
No.
Let me get some.
No, that was mad crazy.
I know.
Mad crazy.
And I love how you did it because
like,
there's often a negative connotation to when someone is medicating. And particularly in the black community, you know this, Kirk, because in the church, if you can't pray it away, definitely taking medicine means that your Holy Ghost or that your salvation ain't as strong as you say it is. Right. But we need medication as much as we need therapists, as much as we need coaches and teachers and all those different things. They're all stabilizers. Because if I can take something that can offset and pause within my neurotransmitter, which is basically allowing me to move smoothly through my day to where I'm not having a psychotic breakdown or not having a meltdown, give it to me. Because oftentimes when we're looking at mental health issues, most of them are genetically passed down.
Tell them real quick your background. Tell them how you got here, just in case y'all don't know my man's. And I want you to tell them that real 100.
So, was a free agent in the NFL, got sent home.
Eat.
And
I had a little rice. It was so serious. I've been waiting for the food.
Eat.
Yeah, I won't mess you up.
I want to know your story though.
Yeah.
But just while you talking, I'm gonna get some of the
Yeah. So, man, went home and attempted to take my life. So I was a cutter. My dad was a pastor, and my parents divorced, and I started cutting at 13. And every time something would happen, I would always cut. And it was funny because well, not funny, but my sister saying, I always wondered what was the marks on your arms when we would come see you in college, because to understand self-harm is that I was allowing myself to cause physical pain to numb the pain that I was dealing with on the inside. And then my second suicide attempt was a drug overdose. That was several years later, which after surviving miraculously, which is how I got into going to therapy, because I stood at the altar a bunch of Sundays, Kirk, and I got prayer, and sometimes deliverance works in an instant, but true healing takes place through the journey of understanding why was I cutting? What was the pain connected to?
Understanding it.
What makes you happy, King?
Man, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. That's refreshing to hear, man. For real, man. Glad you overcame that, man, because one of the greatest gifts God give us is life. And that's one of the main things he's been teaching me with, you know. I think happiness, people trying to seek happiness in the wrong places, it just comes from gratitude. It's about being thankful for what's already around you. And once you start to count that, you know, once you start to dim down the needs and the wants, want for nothing and just accept and flow with what he's already providing and offering for you, that's when true happiness comes, in my opinion. You know, one of the main things God told me is the greatest gift is life. I relate to that. I tried to take my life before. My daughter, when she was being conceived, she gave me something to live for. So, you know, happiness does come from the children.
What took you to that point in your life where you felt that space where you tried to even take your own life?
Man, it came to a space to where I had everything I wanted, but nothing I needed. So it was like, you know, everything of my wants, it was reachable. Money, cars, clothes, women, of course, all the things that's in the other side of the promise.
How old are you?
I was around 17. This was like after I had blew up. Around 16, a few months into me blowing up, receiving breakthrough, it started to become a point to where I started to veer a little left. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always relate to the book of Job. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at the end of the day, it was just everything was a testament to faith. But the attacks, you know, they started to increase, but still my faith never changed on, you know, who the ultimate provider was, and that's the Most High God.
How do you guys feel at the table? Has everyone at the table ever had that space outside of Doc and NLE? Have you ever been to that space where you ever thought about suicide as black men?
Yeah, absolutely. I was on suicide watch. There were times when I'm recently married, but there were times when me and my girlfriend, me and my fiance, and now me and my wife, there were times when we never spoke about it, but she never left me alone. And I never let myself be alone. Because we had spoken about that, you know, and I put it to her very straight. You know, I don't know. I just don't want it. You know, you talk about life. You know, I just don't want it. You know, I just don't want.
What brought you to that place?
Isolation, right? Ostracism, humiliation, abandonment. You know, and the funny thing about that is that, I mean, we got a doc here, so I've learned that those things and having an event happen to you and getting arrested, or you know, losing a job, or you know, having to rejigger, you think that's the thing that gets you, you know, but it's usually, I found for myself, it was something way back, you know, that kind of had my mind in a certain space, you know what I mean? And Drug overdose? Yep.
Wow.
Check. Damn near lived on a roof. You know, just plenty of, I don't even smoke cigarettes. You know what I mean? Plenty of cigarettes and whiskey. You know, I actually wrote a letter. Yeah, I've done the whole thing and been there.
Just
You know
the
what I mean?
courage you have at this table, though, man. Just
man.
the
Well,
courage.
It's not. It's precious, right? Like life is precious, and it's deep, but there is a level of like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've reached a point now where it's like, I really want to care. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't care.
But the darkness we have to go through as a black man sometimes to get to that light.
But see, that's the thing you said.
That's what pisses me off.
You said this at the top. You know, we as black men have to talk about mental health, right? Like, I agree. But we are all born into a society in which our narrative, right? Our narrative as black men, we're born into a narrative that puts us downhill.
Yeah.
And then you end up having to pretend that you're somebody that you're not to get through certain doors that I got through, right? You don't get through an Ivy League door, you know, behaving a certain way, thinking a certain way, or letting people know you think a certain way. That didn't happen.
I think as a black man, we have to know we are at war.
And you know,
every day we wake up.
Do you two, as young men, do you feel the pressure as men, or do you feel the pressure as young? Like, is the pressure that you feel being connected as being a black man, or you just feel it in general?
I don't feel pressure. I feel honored. You know what I'm saying? I feel honored because I'm a firm believer when that pressure is being formed, that's what creates the diamonds. You know what I'm saying?
Have you always been there?
I have not always been there, but I just recently came to that space, and now I understand why I had to go through it.
Let me ask you this, NLE. What led you to discovering that it was an honor to feel the pressure?
And I also want to hear from Ray J too, as a young gun too.
Yeah.
What led me to discovering what made me feel it was an honor is because our job as a black man is to go through the obstacles, to be able to uplift the other people that have not overcame the obstacles. And it's still a, you know, it's a war. We win one battle and then we move on to the next. We climb one mountain and then we gotta go to the next.
Yeah.
But service to others is one of the most important things, you know, and even a wise man once said, to piggyback off Jonathan, service to others is what pays our rent in heaven. Heaven can be accomplished right here.
Who's been teaching you? What you been reading? What you been doing? This because how old are you? 20?
I'm 22.
Yeah.
22.
So,
22.
and how do you handle the pressure of life? Do you feel it as a black man having that experience?
The pressures, you know, it's not. It's deep. The industry's deep. It's a fucked up place to be, you know what I'm saying? Because, well, if you plan on the outskirts like us, it's not fucked up because, like he said, when he said, I don't care, like, I really don't give a fuck, right? Excuse me, I'm sorry, you're a man of God.
You can be you.
Okay.
Be yourself, King.
Cursed in front of Kirk Franklin. That's not okay.
King, be yourself.
Like,
when did you come?
Whoa.
It's fine. It's
Bro,
fine.
I'm going to hell.
No, you're not
God
going
damn it.
to. No, you're not.
That was crazy.
You are fine. You are fine.
I want to apologize. First off,
Listen
I want to apologize to the table.
No.
That wasn't okay.
Right. I have a question for you. When did you get to that place where you no longer cared?
I mean, I no longer care when I just like understood like that the manifested is different from trying. You know what I'm saying? And I never been the type of person I want to go on an audition or sell myself. So I just took the long like the line that was like real long. I'd rather take that than to be who I'm not.
I got you.
And it's like I could be squeaky clean and be successful, and I'm real miserable. Like at that point, because you know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like I'd rather be on the outskirts, because like you can't really make a mistake if you don't work for nobody.
I get you.
You can only make a mistake in your mind to where you like, fuck, I messed up. And that's God telling you like you did because you feel bad. But if you don't feel bad, then you ain't mess up. If your perception is right.
If you're conscious of it.
So if you go to war, we go to war, it's all messed up. Kids are dying in every country. So the war is fucked up for everybody. But now you're starting to figure out what's best for the family or the country, right? So you're gonna ride with America or wherever you from, but it's all still messed up, and it's all still politics, whether it's Democrat, Republican, blood, crip, black, white, like.
And you can only imagine just the kind of pressure that it is being young and famous. And Kev, you are now experiencing a level of fame in your own life that has kind of caught you off guard. When you hear these young, intelligent young black men, who I'm so honored to have at the table, is because we'll never know their level of pain. We'll never know their level of anxiety and stress that they have to deal with, because we didn't have all of this BS, and we didn't have all of that where you have to live your whole life in front of people. I mean, how do you process the stress and pressures of trying to manage it all and not losing it?
Yeah, I think it's tough, to be honest. I think Kev on stage is I've been describing it lately as the performative version of Kevin, you know, and I think you think you want something until it starts to happen, right? And I think one thing that I probably struggle with the most is like, for a long time I'm creating on the internet and I'm just this guy, you know what I mean? I can make fun of everybody that everybody else is making fun of. And then all of a sudden it's like, now when you say something, this is now somebody's podcast topic, or you're on the Shade Room, or you're trending on TikTok or Twitter or whatever. And I'm like, bro, what? And you know, when the internet is after you, I think you know it's not the real world and it's not everybody, but for some reason it feels like everybody. It feels like, 'cause there was a time I was getting dragged. They were finding every one of my emails. They was like, and I'm just like, bro, you know, just put your phone away. But it's like, it feels like the whole world is like on you.
Saying
you know what I
people
mean?
to see you and shake your hand or congratulate you.
And then that's the other thing that happened.
I've never seen nor heard the same magnitude of hate that I receive online.
Never.
Wow.
And the few times I've ever been getting dragged online, if I happen to have a show or something and I'm down the street, it's like, oh, Kev, what up, baby? Oh, love this from you. How the kids, how the wife? So it's like, it's incongruent with how you feel and what you feel like is happening. But I think two things are true. And I think for me, because so much of my job is the internet, it's kind of hard to avoid, you know what I mean? Because that's how I paid my bills, feed my family, blase, blase. But it does start to weigh on you. And I don't think that's not a thing that, when I worked at the bank, that would never happen. You know what I mean? It's just, I go to work, I do my job, I go home. That could never happen. But now it's, you know, you start to feel like, I don't want to say nothing. I just don't want to say nothing wrong, because whatever I say ends up being wrong.
Doc, I have a question for you, Doc. And I want y'all to also ask each other questions.
I got a question.
Yes. Oh, no, and I'm sorry, go ahead, finish.
Just real quick, before we move on, pressure. And then you also said celebrity, famous. I just think one thing we always have to realize is that we're not famous, we are not celebrities. Our anointment comes from a higher power. So once we are anointed, we're supposed to use it in a certain manner. And, you know, we go back to Jesus. He was anointed, but he was crucified in the span of being anointed. People didn't like him.
How old are you?
22. I do feel like once we start to separate the saying famous and celebrity,
but
I just put in that you anointed. Bro.
No, I believe that. But I also think we are celebrities and famous. Like, I don't think, because I rejected that. I'm like, bro, I'm not famous. I'm not no celebrity, bro.
We just want to do what we do.
Yeah, I'm just making videos on the internet, bro. I'm not like.
But it's deeper, it's bigger than that because it's somebody watching you that does not look at you like you just who. When you look in the mirror, you see Kev, you see who you are. But when someone else look at you, they see something that they want to be.
That's why I feel like I'm famous or a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because those people don't know me for me.
But they see God's hands on you. That's
No,
all
for
I'm saying.
sure.
They see the. I think
I'm separating those two.
Yeah,
I think God's hand on my life, plan on my life is one thing.
Yes, sir.
And then the way the world sees me, or how I'm perceived, is a separate thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I wanted to ask a question before we got too far. Both of y'all brothers shared, you shared what you almost did and you did not. I'm curious what brought you out of that. Like, how did you? What was your thought process to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to live. You know what I mean? Like, how did you? Because I imagine those things don't just magically go away, and that thought might be in the back of your mind. Like, how do you process? How do you pull out of that?
Yeah, that's a great question, Kev. I think for me, NLE and I was talking about it earlier, right? He was talking about how his daughter, right, your daughter, right, has given him a reason to live. And I think for me, having an encounter with God after I survived, because most people don't survive the drug overdose. I mean, the stuff that I took, and to, man, some of everything, man. So my football injury was a nerve damage injury that I had to my pudendal nerve down the lower part of my back. It was so damaged that I'm just being vulnerable. I couldn't get an erection at 25 years old.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yes,
sir.
So it was either do open back surgery or to try some rehab from a doctor that I met in Houston, who was the only doctor that can help with the nerve damage without surgery. So I was on Vicodin, codeine, I was on all that stuff for the pain. So I fell at practice one day on my tailbone and woke up, it was like temporary paralysis, couldn't move, lower extremity. So I OD'd on all of that along with other painkillers. Like for me, it was the internal pain of just the daddy wounds and all of those different things, in which I've talked about, on stage, is watching a father pastor, but wanting him to be a father to me as his only son. So it's, and that for me was so difficult because my brain at the time was trying to rationalize, how can you speak into them and not speak into me?
Yes.
So the 31-year-old Jay that attempted suicide just wanted daddy to say, son, I got you, and it's okay. And it was just really, Kev, just really having to reconcile, which took time, that maybe he couldn't give me what he didn't have because it wasn't given to him.
Yeah.
Because you give what you have.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You understand that, though.
And understanding that, man, was painful because I also had to accept what I was never going to get.
But it gave you peace.
Well, peace came later. It came later because until you can reconcile that thing, you can't have peace.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it was also how my parents divorced, because football, the helmet was a mask for me. I could put that helmet on and be whoever I wanted to be. And for 60 minutes, I can just release all the rage, the anger. And I'll never forget my coach.
Too, like,
physically.
Football is very
physical.
I can literally hit you and hurt
Hit
you.
you, yeah. And I remember my coach asking me, he said, what are you thinking about when you're out there? Kirk, this is no lie. I never saw an opponent's eyes. I always saw my father's face. Wow. And for me, that pain drove me. But here's the issue, that when we don't have a place where we can release that pain, we begin to harm ourselves.
I mean, listen, guys. There's a lot going on right now at this table. I got a lot going through my head right now.
Give us some.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because I mean, yeah, like I found my wife in my lowest moment of all time. You know what I mean? I found my wife, and that's awesome. Like,
she's an amazing woman.
She is an amazing. That's what we do at the house when we start feeling good about being married. You just yeah. So I found my soulmate. You know, I found my queen. You know, in that moment, we found each other rather. I'm just gonna move through it really quick, but I got something to say, right? So it's like this. So in that space, like I hear you, young brother. Like I hear you. You know what I mean? I really do. And I hear you too, Kev. But in that dark space, like nothing. Like sorry, like bad news, Kirk. Like nothing's getting you out. Nothing's getting you. Like, and I don't want to talk about that. Oh, my babies. Oh, my career. Oh, my life. Oh, my. No, that's horseshit. That's horseshit. If you had something to hold on to, you wouldn't be in that space.
Wow.
You know what I mean? My baby girl wasn't gonna get me out. My mama told me I can't get you out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Megan couldn't get me out.
And your mama preacher.
My mama preacher.
And your mama
You know what I mean? Like,
preacher.
I want to talk about that. Like we can talk about like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I feel like let's cut the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, out of a dark place, right? Like.
I disagree. I disagree.
Well, respect, young brother.
The road leads back to two. No man, no woman, no kid, no pet can, but God can. The road leads back to two. And my thing, but my thing is though, my thing is this: if we understand the connect, man, listen, I just sat down for 3 to 4 months. I took a break. I could have made $4, $5, $6, $10 million. I left it all on a plate to sit down because something in my spirit wasn't right. I sat down. I had to go back home. Got grounded. Stayed in my hometown, the most dangerous city that people crucify. Stayed there, planted my feet there, and went into 112-day seek. Every day I woke up, I went outside with my notebook, and I sat my feet in my grass, and I stood before a tree and in nature, and I just listened. And I wrote down everything. I jotted it. I got a journal. I got 4 or 5 journals stacked over 3 or 4 months. It's like a Bible. The Most High God fed to me every day, every second. When I woke up, He'll wake me out of my sleep. He gave me dreams, people that I needed to get away from me, snakes, rats, whomever. He put everything under a microscope in my life.
Watch this. There are times when I can say that my walk with God, NLE, has not been enough. And it was hard for me to admit that. There's going to be these views that are not black and white views, but these are our perspectives.
Yeah, but there's so many brothers who find themselves, and I am one of them. You know what I mean? Who find themselves in situations and they're hearing in the back of their head, oh, but your baby, oh, but God, oh, but.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's that moment where you look for it, right? And it's not there, and then you jump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we gotta be very careful, famous celebrity people, right? Putting rules down, telling folks this is how it goes. No. That is dysfunctional.
So
right?
let me
The
say
same way they
right.
say black men should behave a certain way. That's like saying a Christian should behave a certain way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not. It's not fair, right? It's not fair, and it puts that individual in a place where they have no escape.
Why don't you speak to that, Doc?
I like how you were transparent, Kirk, because as a son of a pastor, and you're so on point. And I think what Jonathan is saying is you are right. Yeah. It leads back to two. Yeah. However, man, there are moments that crushes you, man.
Never discredited that.
And they're so crushing that me and him was talking earlier, and I related because what he went through, it's like this, Kirk. You know this. There's something, man, the agony behind dealing with a private matter in a public arena.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is crushing that this should stay private, but now it's public. You could have called me. And now you had to make that post about, yo, Kev, this.
Yeah.
And I think for us as black men, to what you're saying, Jay, is we can't package it and frame it in this manner because, man, life is so nuanced.
It is nuanced.
And
Yes,
man,
it is.
you'll get into a place.
Yes.
And we were talking, because I went through what he went through in 2018 with the young lady I was dating. And I watched people get on social media, and I'm like, it's not true, but I couldn't say anything. And I'm saying, God, where are you now? Right? It was like a Job moment, because you're like, why is this happening to me?
But my thing is these, well, I said the road leads back to two. All of these obstacles is for you to strengthen the relationship. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So if it's a misunderstanding there, I'm not saying. Hold on 1 second.
I want you to know you're okay.
Yeah, man. No, I'm over good.
Okay.
I know it's no rule. I'm not saying it's a set rule on how to be this or how to be that. Because one thing me and Kirk is a firm believer of is no man of perfection. It's only a man of progress.
Right.
My thing is the things that I went through. Same thing you went through, same thing you went through, same thing you going through, same thing you go through, same thing. No matter what age or none of that shit. It's all built to create the foundation of your relationship with the Most High. That's why I said the road leads back to two.
And I think what Jonathan is saying is that in that moment, you can't discern or decipher that.
But
right, it will lead.
In that moment, you can't.
No.
But if you keep
I want to say something real
building,
quick.
you begin
I want to say something real
make
quick.
that connection up.
I think I'm a church kid, so, and I'm 42 now. So, and I'm a church kid in the sense of like, there was nothing else. It is just Jesus. There's no medicine. There's no therapy. There's no divorce. Somehow, if your husband's beating you, God's gonna, like everything is God's gonna do it. God's got a plan. Right, that's all you.
That's what you're dealing with at the table, NLE.
Yeah.
See,
No.
In NLE's defense, let me just say this.
But I'm not religious. I'm not Christian. I'm not none of these things. I just believe in God. I go straight to source.
Right.
Feel me?
But here's what I want to
I
say.
get what you're saying. I get how what I'm saying could be.
No. I'm not even
because,
saying that. I'm just speaking from my experience, not even directly to what you said or what you meant.
No, I receive.
But what John and Jay was saying, it's like when I was young, that made sense, right? I'm not.
What
is not
made
ageing.
sense? What made sense?
What you're saying? God somehow this is going to make sense because God's going to make it make sense. God has a plan, and that was true for me when I was young, right? When I got older, and when my brother died, and as a child, it's just God kind of called him home. God had a better plan for him. No man understands God's thing. When I was a kid in that, with somebody else's grandma, somebody else's brother, that was cool. And I'm even telling them that. Yeah, don't worry about it. God's got you. Jesus is here. Jesus, just pray. Jesus died for this. All of a sudden, after 40 years of saying that stuff, and I'm not saying you don't believe it, because I believe it too. Oh yeah, God's got you, brother Key. I'm praying for you, right? And I'm hearing that until it was me. And then you're looking at God like, where?
But did he have you? Did he? My thing is, hold up. Did God have you though? Did he not?
I don't believe he did. That's my truth.
You said you didn't know then, or you still don't know now?
Still now.
You don't
and
know.
also in the Bible, people in the Bible were like, Jesus was like, I don't understand what is happening.
It's not meant for you to understand.
Right, but this is what I'm saying though. Hear what I'm saying. In that moment, when my brother, right, and we talking about the celebrity, fame, and all this type of stuff, and I'm sure we all know this, that your circle of like actual trust people that you know if everything about you that everybody loves was gone, the amount of people who will be like, hey brother, you Uber, I don't care, come by the house, we're playing Uno. That amount of people that you really actually trust is usually less than 5 people, maybe 2 or 3 people.
1000%.
Right? For me, one of those 2 people is gone.
1000%.
So now it's like, and then you have people at the church, at the funeral, oh brother, God's got you. Okay, I hear y'all, okay? But that person is gone.
Do you know what we're talking about? Let me tell you.
Spiritual bypass.
No.
Is he gone though? Is that person really gone?
That
energy
dead.
But if energy never died,
No.
Let me ask you this, NLE. Let me tell you what's happening, King. Let me tell you what you're dealing with at the table. I'm gonna share something with you.
I'm dealing with the same thing.
What? No, and I'm dealing
and I
respect
it.
it.
I deal with
and
that.
I know that you are.
I deal with the way I deal with people dying in the most violent way, and I gotta go to their funerals, pay for them motherfuckers, and they mama had to cry on my shoulder.
I'm not discounting that.
I'm not discounting either, but I'm saying.
Well, no. First of all, I am very grateful that the space for conversation is just happening.
Me too, brother.
They were having a chance to talk. Yeah,
No, this is actually the conversation.
Yes. But I do want you to know, and I do want you to know what you're also walking into is because
I know what I'm walking into.
Well, if you don't mind,
Yes, sir.
if I can frame it like this, if you don't mind, just give me a second, and I really appreciate that. You are also talking to people, and I want to go to this with you, Ray J. It's because you were raised in the church too. This is what you're also doing. See, you had, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I need you up on this. You weren't raised in church, were you?
My grandmother on my dad's side took my pops to church 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day.
What about you?
I'm a product of that.
Okay.
That veered my father away from church.
Wow.
I wasn't in church every day and all this.
Good,
every
good.
Sunday. I was not. I can't say.
Which is
but
good.
I still receive what he felt. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
It's
yes,
a generational thing.
yes,
that gets
yes,
passed
sir.
down.
Yes, sir.
So whether I feel it the way he felt it or not, I still feel it secondhand. You feel me?
Well, let me tell you why I said that. It's because I appreciate and love when people did not have to be forced to go to church and have stuff thrown down their throats, because it gives them a different way to paint their picture of the journey.
I get what
So
you're
if you-
saying. But going to church isn't the solution, man.
No,
I get-
I'm not disagreeing with you, King.
Yeah.
I'm sharing with you what you're walking into.
And
What's
I
happening
receive
at the
that. I
table is that
understand.
for a lot of us, let's call it what it is, religious trauma.
I understand
What we're
that.
dealing with a lot at this table is because we have had people make us feel
You
bad.
know why though? It's a thing where you have us here as people, you have God, and then this is what happened. We got to go through all these different things to get primarily the source. Primarily the source. You know what I have a problem with? One of the things I have a problem with, and it may be controversial. A lot of people may say this and may say that. I don't like, let me say it in a manner to where it's extremely intelligent. Let me think on it. In Christianity, it's a thing where people praise the Son more than they praise the Father. And that's what I don't like.
Okay.
Because if we are man made in a likeness, Jesus is our brother. You get what I'm saying? Why would I drop down and praise my brother instead of praising my father? And that goes back to honoring your parents.
I just gotta say something.
Good.
Have you read the Bible?
I read the Bible, I listen to the Bible, I
I would
receive
say-
from source
I would
straight.
say read it again.
Sir.
Let me ask you a question, Ray J. How has it been for you coming from the space where you had to go through this, you were raised in church, you've seen different things that have not been always good. How have you processed when it comes to dealing with your own journey of health, mental health, trying to be a strong man? How have you sometimes had the conflict of what to pray away and what to go seek help for, how to address issues that you may go through as a black man that is sometimes seeing faith not always in the best way or the right way or the wrong way? Has any of that ever been your experience?
I hate church.
Why?
Well, first off, because they always sit me in the back. And I'm like, damn. All right.
But does it
Then
make you
they-
not feel good enough?
I mean, I'm way back there, yo. Then they put me in the front of the church, and I'm like in the front, I start sweating, yo. Real bad, like I'm supposed to be at the front. And then,
Nervous when you said that?
nah, I just was up there like, yo, I'm a real sinner. And then,
We all are. But what do you do, Ray J, when it comes to the journey of trying to find what the solution is for you when you are dealing with those areas in life that are too big for you and they affect your mental health? They affect the emotions that whether you can't pray away or you can't do something away, is because a lot of times as men, you know, we have these things that help get us through, whether it's sex, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, you know, and this is historical for us as men. Work, you know what I mean? We've always tried to find something to help us get through.
We need that. We need that. It'll never be a day where we don't have to find peace in something.
Like at the end of the day, like I feel you, man. Like damn, that shit, it like hurt me. It like really hurt me, like to see what you went through, bro. Cause that shit just, that's not cool. It's just like.
To even, like as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about Kev as well, because to watch Kev have to mourn his brother, who I knew that they were so close. This was also his manager.
But was it any like when your brother passed, was any malicious stuff that happened? Like what happened? Was it any?
No, so this is this is the part that feels the most cruel about it. He had cancer, and at the time that he was diagnosed, they were like, this is like a terminal cancer, 5 to 7 years, right? So, man.
Lost my grandfather to cancer.
Well, sorry, man.
What makes it worse is if he just got cancer and got sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and died, okay, that's what cancer does. You understand that. He got cancer, got sick, and then got better, to where he was back to where he used to be. So we were on a book tour, and I saw him in Houston. We had dinner. Everything was normal, and the night before he passed away, we were texting and calling, and everything was great. The day he passed away, we were talking. We were texting. We were talking about sports. And then my sister-in-law called and was like, your brother had a seizure. And I'm like, what? I still had my phone in my hand. I was like, I'm just talking to him. And I was so disoriented that I had a show that night. And I was like, came home and I was like, I'm gonna go to my show, he'll be fine. And my wife was like, I'm gonna go to Houston. I think you should come. And thank you. And I'll never forget this. We're flying, and my nephew called me on the plane, and somehow my phone still rang. And my nephew told me on the phone, he's gone. Wow. So the last time he was alive, I'm talking to him the night before. We make the New York Times bestseller. Look, thank you, Richard. So it's the highest high. That day is the best day ever. Because it was like we did it. Everything was like we wanted to do this. We wanted to make all this stuff happen. And we did it. And before we could even celebrate it, you're gone.
Jeez.
And then all this stuff starts happening good. And it's like, bro, this is what we worked for. All the stuff, the shows, and it's just like, there's times where I go to text him or to call him, and it's like, your brain doesn't even remember. So, and then on top of all that, his responsibilities became mine. So his family, he's the provider for that family. So now all of a sudden, I've got to help his wife, his kids.
Wow.
So I'm grieving with y'all.
Wow.
But I've taken on more of a burden, even though we're all sharing the same pain. I'd only been to 2 funerals before that. The 3rd funeral was my brother, and now I have to pay for and plan it. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've never done any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I still got to be my own husband, my own wife's husband, my own kid's father. I still got employees. I still got to show up. You know, that's what we're saying, the work part of it. Like, I don't even know what I would have done if I didn't have work. And I'm not even saying I buried myself in work, but it was like, I gotta live.
Yeah.
But I also feel guilty for living.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, man, is that, do you think like even what's happening right now, do you guys think that there is another medicine out there, Jonathan, that we're not even realizing that can also be part of the healing for us as black men? And it is the lack of sometimes affection that we feel that we have not been prepared to give each other as black men. Like, I'm gonna tell you something, and I said this earlier, you know, NLE, I'm not ashamed to say, man, that I would love to have known what it feels like to have a father hold me, or have a brother hold me and embrace me when I'm weeping tears. And I think that there's something therapeutic about that, but because the culture has always put us against each other, you know, that do you feel, Doc, that we're missing these opportunities to even help heal each other by embracing each other in our darkest moments, to just let each other know, I see you, I got you, and we're gonna be all right? Like, do you think that there's something we're missing in this alpha male, this toxic masculinity that we're dealing with more than ever in our culture?
We're missing connection.
Yeah.
And you see how the air changed?
Yes.
As Kevin was sharing. And I'm sitting here and I can feel this energy because, to be honest, Kirk, we don't even get the opportunity to grieve properly as black men.
Or even how Ray J even got up and just showed him some love. It's like, you know, we don't get those moments.
We don't get those moments. You know, when I saw all of these guys, I made it my point to acknowledge his transformation.
Yes.
I made it my point to acknowledge his perseverance and to speak life into him. Made it my point to talk with him and to share with him Ray J. And because when we lack connection, man, we limit ourselves from having the human experience. Yeah. We need connection, we need affection. I made a post, or it wasn't even a post, I was on a podcast, Brandy Harvey's podcast, and I talked about how study shows that boys need more hugs than girls. Not because they need more love, but we're usually underdeveloped emotionally as boys because we don't get touch, we don't get affection, we don't get I love you and look you in your eyes and not be able to say, you know, no homo. It's no I love you, man, and pause. It's like we don't get that. And man, the internet tore me up.
It's a war.
The internet tore me up because it was like, oh, so you saying? I said, no, that's not. The study revealed that because boys are underdeveloped psychologically and emotionally, because we've been told, man up, you better not be no bitch. Yeah. Don't you cry.
But at the same token, we so far away from how we originally were supposed to bring up black men that we don't. A lot of black men don't know.
And they don't know.
Share more with that as a young man with that perspective.
When you walk up to, and I don't call them no YNs, but when I walk up to a young king, it's always black man, good brother, young king. I love you, man. Respect. And I've seen, man, and most times when I'm through the airport and somebody stop me and say something, I embrace them. That's right. And they'll say, brother, thank you. Because usually, Kirk, it disarmed them from having to armor up. Because usually when brothers go into any space, we're armored up.
Tell me about this war, NL.
Man, it's a war. I mean, we all aware of the war. We all aware of the war. Every day we wake up. You know what I'm saying?
Define it for me. To just somebody who's older, I would love to know in detail from your perspective. It's because your life is so much more different than mine. I would love to learn.
Is it the war to kill black masculinity? Is that what it is?
Man, it's the war. It's the war to black man, black masculinity. But a lot of people got to understand black men also have feminine too. Feminine on the fifth dimensional level with receiving, stillness, trust, and just allowing things to happen and flow within a life. And just, you know, the balance. We're unbalanced. As black men, we want to always do. That's the masculine, not the feminine, not this. Feminine is receiving, stillness, trust, faith. Masculine is just the power and the act of doing. Once we start to create balance in that area, that's when black men, we become more polished. But the war is that information like that is not groomed to us from yay high. You know what I'm saying? Even,
that's
you know,
good.
and brother, I don't even want it to be a misconception like I'm not understanding what you went through. I don't want you to feel in no way, shape, form disrespected.
No, I don't.
And, you know, I feel like everyone on this table is the
You're doing
utmost
a great
love
job,
for.
King.
Understood.
Yeah.
But, man, one thing that I started to learn and I never understood why in science this stuck with me so much. It's the energy cannot die, can only be transferred. Now, that's my perspective, right? I'm not saying that's how you should apply it to your life. But I can say, man, my grandfather died of cancer when I was like 8 or 9 years old. It scarred me to a point to where I used to be scared to go to sleep. I didn't even understand what cancer was. I thought I was gonna go to sleep and just die in my sleep. I saw my grandfather dead at 8, 9. That was my first dead body. Just recently, I fast forward and jumped from that. Just recently, my other grandfather passed. But the connection, the reason why I say energy can't be died, only be transferred, I'm gonna break down the story. When my grandfather passed, I'm usually able to meditate and connect with anyone on the other side, and I'm able to receive from other realms. Yes, sir. The living. I'm able to receive. Once I went to sleep that night, I had a dream. My dream was my grandfather knew I love guns. My dream was he was at his home, and in the room I used to stay in as a little boy, he took me into the home, lifted from under the bed, pulled out a briefcase, and the dream ended. I was overseas. I was catching a flight when he died. Same thing you said. My mother was crying loudly on the aircraft. We was on the way to Europe. My mother was screaming. Flight attendants had to wear me because I had earphones on. I had to cater to my mother in the middle of a flight because her father just died, right? I went to sleep that night. I had a dream. Once I got back to Memphis, the first place I went to was my grandfather's house to greet my grieving grandmother, but to also go straight to that room in that dream. In that dream, when I lifted up the bed and I pulled out the same briefcase I saw in the dream that he sent me, I opened it up, and that's where I found all his hunting rifles. So when I say energy does not die, it can only be transferred. How did I get that dream? How did I know it was guns under that bed if I never knew it was guns under the bed?
So now, Ray J, when you hear these stories about how people can cope through what they go through, what has been the most beautiful lesson that has been given to you on how to survive being famous, being a celebrity, being in the public, having to deal with the scrutiny and all those things? What has been the thing that has kept you together so that you were able to just stand strong as a young black man?
First off, I want to say to NLE, like, I fuck with you, and I appreciate you really genuinely trying to, like, make sure you say what you feel and from your experiences, and also put out this word where it can help people, because a lot of people listening. And I respect that. I do, man. But, like, and when I was 22, bro, nobody could tell me nothing. 22, 23, 24, 34, 36, right? It's all different. 42, 40, right? It's different. But in his situation, he's right there. And that's where it's at. So it don't matter what we say about the years that we put in after, and what happens to the years after that is a little bit different, and it gets a little trickier, right? But when I was 22, when I'm 22, that's all you can tell me. And the OGs, they used to tell me shit, and I'd be like, for sure, OG, much respect. All right, cool. That nigga don't know what he's talking about in my mind, and walk away, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. But I always show.
We all did.
You know,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
yeah.
gotta be like, for sure. He like, and I'm telling you, man. He like, all right, man. All right, OG, all right. And you like, you don't know what you're talking about, because I know what I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. But 22 and 32 is different, and 42 is different. Mm-hmm. And the way you going is, like, if you keep your head on straight like that and know that at any time, everything could change, like in 1 second.
It's already done. It's done it multiple times, yes, sir.
Meaning what?
It's done. It's changed multiple times.
But what I'm saying is, no, it is, but it hasn't changed. Like, you don't understand it yet. You don't understand.
I don't understand what yet.
What 32 looks like.
Yeah, I do not. You're
yeah,
right.
What 42 looks like.
But
there's no but to it.
No, it is a but.
No, it's not.
The way that you looked at the OGs and you said he don't know what he's talking about is the same way I look at the OGs and I receive what I can, and I take it with a grain of salt and apply what I can't. I apply what I can and I leave what I can't. You feel me?
But are you eager?
Like,
Are you eager to listen tonight?
have I not?
I don't think so. Not yet.
It's all good. If you don't think I listen, then
No,
I
no,
you
not-
to think. I
no.
know I'm listening though. I listen to this brother's story, and I relate. I relate. Listen to this brother's story. I relate. He said he was. Hold on. He said he overdosed. And nobody talk about time when I drove into a tree, to a light pole, trying to, you know.
Wow.
I got my own instances too. I'm just, you know, I'm a little bit too. Probably it looks as if I'm trying to keep it hidden.
No, it
But if I put it on the front line and I just go step by step, day by day, y'all will say, damn, you went through all of that. By 22, that's why I'm so far ahead, because I've already lived enough and I've learned. See,
So you feel like you feel like you're far ahead.
No,
How far do you feel like you're
I feel
ahead?
I'm far enough to ahead
I'm
to
saying,
have a
how far-
conversation with y'all, because I bet if y'all bring another 22-year-old, he won't be able to talk like this. You feel me? I feel mature.
Talk like what?
Talk and know what
You
he's saying.
sound intelligent and you sound like you mean well, but you just have no clue of what this thing is.
What the thing is.
The
What
thing
is the
is,
thing?
the thing
But-
is time.
No.
But-
I want to hear him.
Time.
Time, right?
Time.
Time.
Not timing, but time.
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 Within time, what do you feel is going to be revealed within time that I'm
So-
not already understanding?
all right,
I
so-
get what- I'm listening.
And I think what Ray J is really saying, Arthur C. Brooks talk about crystallized knowledge and fluid knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And crystal knowledge is what we've acquired with age and with time.
Yes, sir.
And I would see which honor and respect yours is fluid. And what he's saying is there's so much more to be revealed. And because you're at that position, you're going to learn it. So I don't think he's not saying that you're not.
No.
What he's saying is that as you stay on the path,
What
you will
the-
continue to receive more and more.
But we have to debate. We have to have a debate because if we don't debate it, then
That is true.
there's
That's
no
good.
point to be here.
My thing is,
And
my
I've
maturity
listened to
didn't come
everybody.
from age. It just came from learning where I messed up at. That's what I'm saying. Is that not where maturity come from? Does it come? Tell me, does it come with age or does it come with learning and breaking the cycles that you're supposed to?
That's a good question.
Is that not?
No, I'm gonna answer you. I think it's a combination of things, right? So you grew up in Memphis, right? A lot of violence, from what you were saying, right? So you've seen a lot of things that a lot of people haven't seen, right? So that's a lot of experience, right? But I'm 42, Kirk 55. There's certain things that I'm gonna give you a silly example. Well, I'm gonna give you a silly example. Have you heard of Labubus?
Labubus?
Yeah, the
I
little.
guess that's where the 22 come in at. No.
Okay, so Labubu, no, it's happening now. Labubus are little, like stuffed animals, and my niece is like 9. It is the biggest thing in her world.
Yes, sir.
She's never seen nothing else. She's like, oh, I gotta have a Labubu. We gotta stand in line for 2 hours for a Labubu. And me and my wife and sister, and that's a difference. So Labubus for her is the biggest thing in the world, and it's really just a stuffed animal.
Yes, sir.
So to her, this is the first time she's seen it. It's on TV, it's on the news. At 42, I realized Labubu ain't nothing but Pokemon cards,
Yes, sir.
Beanie Babies,
Okay.
Tickle Me Elmo,
Okay.
Pet Rocks, Game Boys, whatever.
What's the point?
I'm gonna get to the point. I'm gonna get to the point. I'm gonna get to the point. The point is, when you were hearing Labubus, you think, oh my God,
Okay.
this is crazy. I've never seen anything else like that because it's your first experience. This is
Okay.
her. When you're my age, you're like, this is 6th, 7th time I've seen this, but everybody who's experienced it for the first time, I remember what it was like when I was like, I gotta have a Tamagotchi. No, the world is Tamagotchi. I gotta have this. Mommy, please. And now I've seen that happen once every 2 or 3 years. So that at 9 or at 22, you can only know that revolution's only happened one time.
Okay.
2 or 3 times. But when you're 42
Same
or
thing.
55, you have literally, like Ray J said, you have actual time.
I get
There's
you.
experience where you have experiences, and then there's experience where you've experienced things over
You said
time.
that's your daughter does that?
My niece.
Your niece.
Yeah.
My daughter does that with me. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing. At 22, I used to love SpongeBob as a kid. and
Right.
It came back into fruition. She
Let me
loves
jump in real
SpongeBob.
quick, guys.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, let me jump in real quick. Go. No, finish. No, finish. Go ahead, King. Finish. Yes, sir.
Ray J.
Yeah, thank you. Whew. I've been trying to say something, goddamn it. No,
Go ahead,
I'm just
King.
saying, NLE is my, and he's smart as fuck, and he's his own. You
is.
carved out your own way, so you understand.
I receive that.
You understand by being your own boss. So nobody can really tell you nothing.
No, that's not
No,
true.
no. Let me
not
finish.
true.
Let me just finish. Let me finish.
That's not true that
No,
nobody
you're
can
right.
tell me
No, I
that.
know. No, you listen. No, you listen
Because I'm listening.
too. No, you listen too. No.
it's not.
You listen too. But what I'm saying is, you're your, like, think about it. And I know your mom. I know you, like, you manifested where you are right
Yes,
now.
sir.
So you understand
The
that.
grace of God.
Cool. That's what you feel.
That's what I know.
Got it. Now, do you feel like you're at that experience level to where you can tell these and give these some advice?
Do I?
Like, really?
Do
You know
I?
what I'm saying? Do you feel
No,
like
I
you can
would-
give Jonathan
Do I?
Major some advice
Do
right
I
now?
feel I'm at that level?
Yeah, not
No,
successful.
No, that's a good
I'm
question.
talking about experience.
Knowledge-wise, right?
Yeah, do you feel like that?
I can only give what man is willing to receive.
That doesn't make any sense. But
Yes, it
that
does.
doesn't answer the
Break
question.
it down.
Do you feel like your experience? Do you feel like your
this is what I
experience
feel.
in the world that
Yes.
you can give Jonathan some
If
advice?
he's willing to receive.
That's way out. I didn't smoke a cigarette.
So then let me jump in and say this. Watch this. I want to say something to you, Jonathan, and I want to be able to give a transparent moment to be able to meet you where you are. And just to be able to know that I felt you on the deeper level of what we were talking about earlier. So, y'all all know that I've gone through things with my oldest son, right? You know, did you know that?
No, sir.
Did you ever hear about this thing about my son exposing me on a tape? He recorded me like using profanity. Did you ever hear about that?
No, sir.
Wow, okay. So there was something, I have an older son, he's 37, and I love him deeply.
Yes, sir.
I love him deeply. And as a family, we have had to walk out this topic in his life since he was young. And he's amazing. He's brilliant. And I love him, and I miss him. I miss my son. I miss holding and embracing my son.
Yes, sir.
Well, something happened about almost 16 years ago where I had a bad emotional anxiety breakdown when we started to realize it was having issues. When this situation happened 4 years ago, I had always struggled with anxiety, NL, and I'd always struggled with depression. But when this happened with my son, I had to go through it publicly. And I don't even know if you know this. Well, you said you didn't know, but it was something public that I went through, King.
Yes, sir.
And then 2 years after that, this whole thing about me thinking what some guy was my dad and he wasn't my daddy. You remember this whole situation? That broke me too. Because first I didn't have a daddy. And then to find out that God allowed a man to live 10 minutes from me my whole life that was my daddy that could have helped me out in life. And that didn't happen. Anxiety and depression got so bad for me that I couldn't pray it away. And I was embarrassed and it made me question my faith, but I had to use medicinal help. And I felt like a failure as a Christian to be able to have to get on some medicine to help me with my anxiety and depression because of how I was raised. I could not pray it away. And this is my first time ever admitting
Do you still have troubles with anxiety now as to that and depression?
I am better because I have had to get help with it.
Can I share what helped with me? Not putting a rule down, but can I just share what helped with
Sure.
what helps with my anxiety and depression? Nature.
Nature helps me, but it didn't help me enough. I've always been a nature, it didn't help me enough. So coming back to you, what gave you the courage when you started to publicly, like you did, in such a comfortable way? Is because I've never had that courage. But when you just did that, I found inspiration in that. Where did you get that from, that it wouldn't take away from your masculinity, that it wouldn't take away from your own power?
I think it goes all the way back to kind of what we all said, what I said, and Ray J jumped down. I was like, and I want to be clear about it. Like, when I say I don't care, it's not the fact that I don't care about anything. It's just my priorities are so clear now that my mental health, my mental fitness, my physical fitness, my spiritual fitness, these things I cherish. These things are precious. And it is the ego, it is the Insta, Google, Facebook chat book, you know, it is all these things, you know, that distract from that, you know. And when I've got now on the other side of it, right, like I just really love what's going on, you know. Your question is how I get to the other side.
Well, my question is how did you find the comfort and courage to be able to
because
say?
it's more, that's what it is. Because we say that in drama school, you have to increase your need to communicate, right? Like that was our big thing, right? If you can't hear, you increase your need to communicate. I feel so led to break down, right, and diagnose this taboo thing that is around us as men, and especially us as black men, and especially on us as Christian black men.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I feel like that is a calling.
Wow.
And a mission for me, because stepping out and watching everything go, you see what people think about you. And you take the good with the bad, you take the crooked with the straights. And what I realized is there's a whole group, a whole ecosystem, an entire demographic of people who are looking at people like me, people like Kev, people like Doc, people like my homie, people like you, and saying, what do they do? What do they do? What do they do? And I go, if the Lord has put me on this earth, and has put me through all this, right? And I'm still standing, and I'm still here, right? I gotta share that, you know? I gotta share that. And the things that were burdening me, I'm gonna unburden in front of folk, so they can see that it's okay. It's really okay that you hurt sometimes. That sometimes the prayers you don't feel like they working.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Doesn't mean they're not working, but sometimes it feels like they ain't working.
Some days
you
they
know?
do.
Yes, some days they do. Some days they do.
Some days they don't feel like they're working.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha,
you know what I mean?
gotcha. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, like
Yes, sir.
you got
Yes,
the
sir.
most beautiful woman.
Yes.
And sometimes she can't turn it around for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That like these material things do not mitigate the suffering.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They don't mitigate it.
Whoa, you can park right there, man.
Yo, will somebody let Ray know that his boy would love him back in? Yeah.
Park right there, man.
Yeah, that and I think that there's so many men that are watching this that are trying to figure it out. It's because here's the truth. We're all trying to figure it out. And I think that there is a level of grace that we don't give ourselves and each other because
Yes, that's huge, bro.
you jump on
That's
this.
huge, not being so hard on self. It is perfection within our imperfection. That's huge.
Yeah.
And I think it starts there, you know what I'm saying? That's
sir.
the first step of self-love, is to be gentle with self.
Self-love.
Treat yourself like a toddler.
Self-love as black men, do we even feel worthy of that? Self-love, Doc. What does self-love look like?
Say something, Kev, because I feel it.
It's two things. We were talking about this earlier. I forget who said it, but we were talking about. I'll give an example. Two things. I'm sorry. It's a lot of thoughts are in my mind. We had the wildfires here in LA in January, and it was the first time I ever experienced it. My son came to me and he was like, "What are we gonna do?" And I literally looked at him and I was like, "I don't know," because it was my first time experience a wildfire as well. I don't, they in the north of our house, they're in the south, they're sprouting up. You can't drive to San Diego. So, and my son was like, "What do you mean you don't know? You're the dad." And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't grow up in LA. I don't know. This is not an experience that I have. I'm gonna just try and figure it out as we go along. But I feel like my whole family's looking at me like, you need to know. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But I don't, right? And then the love part, we all, as black men, it still feels weird for me to cry, especially in front of men.
I love crying.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
It does feel very relieving.
Bro, it's one of the best
It's the
things
best.
to do, brother.
And I remember I felt like I needed to be strong for my sons. And I remember when George Floyd passed away, and I'm having to talk to them again. And this isn't even the first conversation. I had to talk to them about Trayvon Martin. I had to talk about Tamir Rice. And by the time George Floyd happened, it's like I have had to have this conversation with my kids so many times. I remember we were all in my room, and I broke down crying. Like, I'm trying to explain to them, because my youngest son was like, why does this keep happening to us? And I didn't have the answer. And I fell into I started crying, and my oldest son like hugged me. And that was like, although I felt weak in the moment, it also let him know that this is something that you can do.
Yes.
And I love to share this story, and I'm gonna pass it after this. I was watching this anime called Blue Eye Samurai.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And there was a swordsman who was making swords. He was a master craftsman. He was teaching the main character how to make a sword. Yeah. And she tried to make them pure out of strength. Only strength, the best metal, and the swords kept breaking. Yeah. So the master told her, you have to have strength and softness. Yeah. Because if you don't give the sword weak points, it will crack and break every time. We are either taught or raised or believe that there should be no weakness.
You know, having my daughter taught me that, man.
Yeah.
It taught me that a lot, because you can't handle her how you would handle different things.
No.
You have to
even my two sons, I thought, you can't even handle them. They're both boys, and you can't even handle them.
But I got the little girl first. I think that's what got me out of all of the
I can see that. Yeah.
If I had a son first, I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make him just like me.
Now that having a daughter can do that. Let me ask you a
daughter-
question.
Yeah,
What does personal healing look like?
That's interesting, and I really love this healing beat, because
You say you really what?
I really love the healing beat,
okay,
right?
yeah.
Because there's two parts to it. Like, so when you cut yourself, right, there's the initial cut, and then you still got to move around with it, right? And then as it starts healing, right, it still hurts, right? There's the scab of it. There's all these things. That's the process of it. That's been like my last like 3 years, right? And so for me, like, and just talking like reality, you know, like the way it manifests for me is I'm more me, you know what I mean? And like now I don't have so many questions about, well, why they like me, or why they hanging out with me, or this and this. The doubts kind of go away, because I know I'm showing up 110%, you know, my 100%, but you can't do 110%, 100% myself, right? And I'm connecting with connection. I'm connecting with brothers. I'm connecting with sisters. There's a certain amount of unity, right? That's how it's showing up in my life. You know, things are, not saying things aren't difficult, you know, at times, but there's a certain ease, right? And a certain self-possession and understanding that is really interesting. And then I take that, right? And I can take it to the Lord. I can take it to God. I can take it to my wife, right?
Yeah,
and there's no like, your shoulders aren't up. You know what I mean? You're just like, yeah, this is what I think. This is what I feel, you know?
You talked about it earlier, the isolation, man, is such a dangerous place. I often say the worst place a man can be left is left alone with his thoughts.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
It's such a dangerous place, man. So thank you for creating this for us.
I just wish I could help more. It's
Yeah.
because a lot of these shows that, you know, what call them, it's all about, you know, it's about being sensational. You know what I'm saying? It's not about healing.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful though.
And I don't like that we have a society that people want to put on platforms the process of you and not be part of the healing of you. And that is something that I think that we've got to start covering each other more. And I just wish that I could have done a better job of creating a safer place that it could have been the beginning. And you know, the truth is, who knows, this may be a seed.
No question. Yeah, no question.
We don't look out for each other. It's like the story of Noah, right? When he was drunk, you know, and they covered, you know, his nakedness. We don't cover each other's nakedness.
Well, we point at it, we flag at it, we I mean, yeah, we podcast about it.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
I want to be able to say to all of y'all, that I really do respect and appreciate this moment to have with you. And I want to know from all of you, what can we say to the women watching? They may have a man in their life. They may be dealing with these issues. How do they help their kings get to a place and a journey of being whole and healthy?
We just need someone to listen. I think that would be the most important thing. Like,
That's so good.
Sometimes we need
That's so
people
good.
to just listen
That's so good.
to what we have to say. Like, just women are security. They want to feel secure.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to provide them with enough security to the point where they're willing to understand and listen. You know, we just got to be of service. It goes both ways. And
That's good.
we got to know when to dribble the ball and also when to pass it. So, you know, I feel like this whole conversation, man, was dope. You know what I mean? Wow. I feel like then nobody hold back, and there's gonna be a lot of moments to where, you know, people may say, I don't agree with this or I agree with that, but at the end of the day, we're doing God's work by talking about it. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters. And, you know, I appreciate you, brother, for using your platform to bring me upon, you know what I'm saying, and sit at this table with great people. You know what I mean? So.
And thank you for trusting me.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just gonna say to the women part, and I can only speak to my wife. She never weaponized my vulnerability, and I think that you know, I'm not even a tough street dude or anything like that, but I also never wanted to appear weak in front of my wife.
Yeah.
And that's what my, you know, military brat, you know, it's all orders and, you know, sharp corners and stuff. Like, my dad did not cry. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He never seemed weak to me ever. He cried one time, but it was his dad passed away. But the point is, I never saw that. So when my wife was like, I remember when I first opened up, I'm just giving you a little piece to see if you gonna in 2 weeks be like, yeah, remember when you was crying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. But I think that happens. I think that happens in a lot of relationships.
It does happen to some men.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then you would never ever get the version of him that you could have got. Yeah, and I think my wife, God bless her, she has allowed me, and with each safety, it allowed me to be more vulnerable with her. To now, if she were to ever, to be vulnerable is to leave yourself open to attack. So now I'm so vulnerable with her, she could do irreparable harm. If she wanted.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's why we love her.
And that's
why we love her.
And because she could and doesn't, we're able to reach a level of love that you can only have if you are truly vulnerable. And she is with me. It's not a one-way street, but I think it's easier for women to be vulnerable, more easy than it is for men.
And it hides the intimacy.
And it hides the intimacy as well, because you like, and that, I said this in another podcast, like, people often ask me why I don't cheat. Brother, I'm not getting that. Like, do you understand the value of somebody that you can trust to fall asleep, like just to fall asleep? Like, sometimes you can't even fall asleep. They get pictures of you sleep. Like, what kind of peace could if I can't even fall asleep? If my picture is valuable, like, we can't have any trust or relationship if I can't even trust you that I can't fall asleep.
That's beautiful.
And when I was going through that, when my brother passed, she was with me, like, every day, highs, lows. I remember I didn't even know what vulnerability meant. She was like, I want you to be able to share your fears with me. And I remember telling her, how can I share my fears with you if I don't share my fears with myself?
Wow.
I don't face my fears, so I cannot tell you them, because if I acknowledge them, they're now real.
Wow.
But she, after 10, 15 years of marriage, you needed that to continue to go. Surface stuff, that's not gonna get you 21 years of marriage. You can't be on the surface for 20 years. Eventually, you either want more or there's nothing left.
Yes.
So I think to answer your question in a shorter way is, not weaponizing vulnerability allows your man, your husband or boyfriend to be more vulnerable, and therefore you can come back stronger that way.
Doc, what about you?
I would say.
You know what, Doc? I want you to go last. I want you to go. Who didn't go? Did you go?
I'll just speak from what. Oh, I'm just so happy.
I think being present, that's a big thing, and also kind of reflecting back to us what it is they see. Because she can tell me I'm tired before I know I'm tired. You know, and she can see that I'm uneasy before I know I'm uneasy. You know, and the way she, I mean, I'm just gonna speak about my relationship, my marriage. The way she can coach me through. Wow. And I've given her that vulnerability, right? I'm a highly coachable husband. You know what I mean? You know, I go, tell me what it is. Okay, that's the play. I got it. You know, sometimes I get to run it my way, and sometimes I do it by the book, you know, and I go, okay, cool. You know, and yeah, she's my helpmate. You know, and I'm her helpmate, you know, and we talk about holding somebody down, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like, you know, holding his hand, walking through the courtroom. That's part of it. But the other part is, you gotta get up, you know what I mean? You know, she clearly understands the mission.
Yeah.
And she supports the mission.
Yeah.
And she pushes the man. And
That's good.
As men, right? It's like having a training partner. You're pushing me to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I fall, you say, okay, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. Let's go again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I speak to that real quick? My wife did that to me, and I'll tell you what it was.
It's the dopest shit.
It's the best. Like, bro, it was the best. It unlocked a new level of love for her. I was talking about my next tour, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do these church jokes that I've done, because this church tour I'd done well. And I'm like, I can run these old jokes. I'm talking about from when I was like 18, 20. And I'm like, yeah, we do the churches again. Listen, it's gonna be blah, blah, blah. It'll be great. And she looked me dead in my face and was like, you're better than that. Yep. She was like, you can go into the lab and dig deeper and work harder and be better than that. And she was like, if you do this, you're taking the easy way out.
That's right.
And I was like, how could you say this to me? Yeah. Like, how could you challenge me this way? And as a creative, I knew way back in my mind when I was thinking of it, I was like, this is easy, Kev. But I would never acknowledge that. Right. And she looked at me dead and she said, you can be better. And I want you to be better.
I've had that chat too, boy.
And I'm like, nobody on earth could ever do that, because nobody even knows those jokes from 20 years ago. And nobody else would care. If you work,
They see the man you are going to be.
Right.
And they speak to that.
And they speak to
Melissa.
She's Melissa.
But she was speaking to that.
She's speaking to, and like, what a blessing to have somebody see your best self and speak when you are too afraid. She was like, if it takes she was like, if it takes you a year of practicing, take the year. And be the best you can be. You remember why you,
but win.
bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, there's that's like, and that's why people like, why you don't cheat? It's like, bro, I'm not getting that. Why would I do? Why would I waste that? Like, you know how valuable that for somebody to see the best in you for real, with no monetary value, none of that. She's talking about just, I see you in the best version of you, and I want you to at least try to be that. Like, bro, that's.
No, I have one like that too. I mean, shout out to Tammy Franklin, because I mean, you know, I'll never forget when the money got really low one time early on in the marriage, and she was like, look, whatever we got to do, whatever we got to change, you know, I got you, you know, and that kind of language speaks to a man. When you at your lowest.
Because that dark voice is like, she gonna leave, she only here for the money. Even if you know that's not true, your mind starts to tell you that. And for her to speak against that.
Yes. So shout out.
My question for you, Kirk, is to kind of stand on that, and I'll answer. But my question for you, has she been the wind beneath your wings through your projects? Like, how have you navigated through the challenges of having an album do well, and then the thought of like, man, I got to do another album and it has to be better? How was Tammy in that process for you? What role did she play for you?
Tammy, and I say this all the time, Tammy would be an amazing woman without me. You know what I'm trying to say? She's an amazing woman You know, I'm the one that's had the hard time learning how to be a man. You know what I mean? And often she really deserved somebody that was already more of that man, where I was trying to figure out, because getting married with kids already and a lot of things, I felt the pressure of living. And Tammy had the most incredible father. So I felt the pressure of, okay, you know, I got to try to fill in them shoes. And, you know, so it was my drive has always been more desperation than inspiration.
That's honest. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not that she was not giving it. There's just, you're always chasing ghosts when you don't know where your beginning is. When you don't know where your beginning is. And you know, like I see how Tammy, like being married to a woman that had a good mother and father, it's almost like she's like unreal to me. It's almost like, you know, like they have a confidence and they have a space. Like I remember asking Tammy once, do you believe that God loves you? She said, yeah, I've never struggled with God loving me. And I had one of my mentors say to me, Kirk, it's hard for you to know God's love as a father when you've never had one. Because it's our first introduction. So Tammy has not done anything wrong in the process of being who Tammy is as my wife. It has always been me trying to learn how to accept it and feel worthy of love. You know what I mean? You know, you just have a hard time feeling worthy.
Yeah, hard time.
Hard time.
Hard time.
Have you been there before?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I just got to the place where I feel I'm worthy of receiving love.
It's hard.
Because you feel like you have to perform.
And I had spent most of my life performing to be liked. Because I was the kid that nobody would pay attention to until I got on that piano. So, but that's a whole nother time, whole nother show. But I would like for you to close out that question.
So the first part of that question to the women, I want to say this. We don't need you to be our healers. And I think a lot of women think that they have to heal the man. Can you aid him in his healing and support it?
That's good.
Absolutely.
That's
but you
good.
don't have to be the healer.
That's good.
Because if you become the healer once he's well, he's gone.
That's good, gang.
So I would definitely encourage the sisters.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But definitely encourage them to understand, how can I support him, and to understand where he's at. And Kev talked about it. My biggest fear has always been being emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
You know, because when you open yourself up, and this is what women don't understand, is that respectfully, most women, their greatest possession, they would say, their bodies. For us, our greatest possession is our vulnerability. Because once a man gives up his vulnerability, he's giving you everything.
Yes.
Because it's not his money.
Yes.
It's that when I start to share secrets.
Yes.
I was molested here.
Yes.
I was abused here.
Yeah.
I heard this at 10, and it still affected me at 40. These become the things that we're now afraid, as you said. Will this become ammunition?
Yes.
That when I'm not the best to you, or I'm not at my best, does this now become the same bullets that you're shooting me with?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so for the women, when we are sharing, and even if we share in dosage, because we don't have the practice, we don't have the language like women, they were developed emotionally because they got an opportunity to express their emotions.
That's good.
All we know is anger, which is a very low-hanging fruit. So when a lot of men have come into therapy, when men have come into therapy, I have to take them through the emotional chart, just so they can identify with other emotions. So women, you have a head start on us, and you are very mature in that arena. So knowing that, understanding that creating space for us is everything. And once you create that space, you may have to sit with us in that space.
Wow.
And I'm not telling you to stay there long, sis. I'm not talking about 2-3 years, because you get some women, I ain't finna. No, because even to sit at this table, I had to heal my father's wounds. Because when you have not been fathered well, you have a difficult time building a relationship with other men.
And the same with if you had bad relationship with your mother. You have hard times establishing great relationship with the woman. Yeah, yeah.
And so what
but
really,
I love, man, what I love what he said is also that should not mean that that woman has to sit in that forever and pamper and babysit that man through that process.
absolutely. He should be moving forward through
Yes.
it. And
Yes.
the support that you would give him is the encouragement to keep moving through it. And the one thing that when you ask about what healing means, what healing meant for me was rewriting a story. Because I kept telling myself what my father didn't give me is, it was a process that I had to work through. But once I understood his story, I was able to extend grace to say, I get it. Because you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
And I also had to rewrite the story because could I have been taking in what I was receiving inaccurately? That daddy didn't want to give this to me because daddy didn't like me. Maybe daddy was still fighting to be a son while he was a father.
Is this the reason?
Yes, sir. Wow. Yeah.
Is this the reason why you have made the decision?
To help men?
Well, no, to not be married right now in your life?
No, I desire marriage, desire partnership. As I'm hearing these brothers share, I desire marriage. I desire, I was engaged. I know what it's like to lose a child. Like, I mean, I've had the experience of miscarriages and the broken engagement 10 years ago. So I desire what I'm hearing. And this is why I love that he found that in a time where most probably felt he didn't deserve it.
Wow.
But I think that we deserve to be loved when we're not our best because we're often fighting to put on a great show so we would be accepted.
Yeah.
And how beautiful was it to find love at a moment that the world was like, he doesn't deserve that. But God is saying, this is when he needed the most.
Yes.
And to hear him say how his wife carried him in his grief, man, I'm over here, and to hear how you're talking about Tammy. So my fight even now, because God, I've done the healing. And my call and my mission and my anointing is healing men. Yes. So as you were saying, there's times where I'm praying to God and I'm saying to God, you told me to make men my mission. Yes. So where's my mate? Because I don't want to keep pouring, but I've maintained this level of discipline because I also didn't want to be a Samson.
Well, I do. Well, I know something. When this,
You're on the right path.
when this ass, you ain't gonna have to worry about. You ain't have to worry about that. We're gonna have to get you security. Get some sort of filtering system. Let me tell you something.
As you were saying that, I was thinking, oh Lord.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's close this out,
That's
y'all.
why what you represent and allowing the world to see your transformation and to see your evolution. Because Kirk noticed, like, you know, we're in our 40s. Yeah. I don't see black men age well.
Yeah.
That's why when he's posting his workout videos, and I'm like, dude, go after. When we're in our 40s and we're finding new things to go after, because so many guys in their 40s like, oh, life is over.
You want to know something, brother? The black men I've been around, they fighting to even try to make. They used to be 18. Now it's really like 16, 15. But, you know, it's a beautiful thing I've come to because I used to feel the same way. Will I make it to 16 and 18?
You know what? It just clicked for me, NLE. You are old. Like, from where you come from, 22 is old. Yeah. You talking about you losing life at 15, 16. To be 22, you like, bro, you feel like you might feel like you're 40 years old.
I feel 50.
Yeah.
But to furthermore that point, man, I remember when I was young, I used to want to be able to make it to 16. Wow. And there used to be days where I felt
just to 16 years old.
But now, and this is something I realized that black men should start to practice. I envision me as a grandfather.
Yeah.
We never envision ourselves growing old. We're really scared of growing old.
Right.
Like, if you really think about it, we start to look at the clock and we feel like the clock going against us. But
you know
in
what,
reality,
though,
we never want to see us.
I always envision myself as a grandfather.
See, but I
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I just came into it. Like,
that's what I think. That's a big difference.
But I'm speaking on the people that's my age.
No, that's what I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, man.
I'm agreeing with you. Like, it's just a difference of like Yeah, it just clicked for me.
Let me close this out,
go
guys.
ahead.
Let me close out. Let me say to you, thank you.
Man, thank y'all.
Thank you, King.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, God.
Thank you.
Man.
And boy, I love you. I love you. And I want to say to everybody watching, there's no way to have a conversation that is hitting so many people in our culture and it's going to be pretty. This is not a pretty journey. This is a rough road when you're talking about transparent places, vulnerable places. And I want to let you know that you're not by yourself. When you're alone and those thoughts are coming and those fears and anxieties are coming, I need for you to know that even the strongest of us, we need a little help along with our prayer. A lot of times faith without works is dead. And don't let nobody demonize you. Don't let nobody belittle you. Don't let nobody weaponize the text against you. Just understand that where you are not by yourself. And we want you to know that we believe in the King in you. Thank you for coming and talking with these kings at this table, because it's been beautiful, man. Thank y'all for joining us to the Den of Kings, y'all. Come on, let's lift it up. I know it's just water, but lift it up, lift it up, lift it up for Aunt Kirk, man. There you go, there you go. Lift it up, lift it up. Love y'all. Let's go.